got to make sure they don't live at the line. In discussing the Utah Jazz, we're underway. Mark Davis, Tony Brothers, Tyler Ford, our three officials, and good to have you with us in Salt Lake City. Forget what happened last year against the Denver Nuggets. Mike Conley shares it early with Donovan Mitchell. And that's the way it begins. And
I like that shot for Donovan Mitchell. A good shot in the lane.
Outscored the Memphis Grizzlies by 8 points in the first 12 minutes of play. And they can't afford that in an elimination game. Donovan Mitchell, awkward, but Gobert is on the follow. Exactly a three-point threat, but he's not bad percentage-wise as Valanciunas gets the first point of the game for Memphis. On the wing, right back at it. Donovan Mitchell. Memphis still only down by 2, though, against a team that was 31-5 on their home floor. Good penetration, Bogdanovich. And Conley, he's killing his whole team, isn't
he? The way they move the ball tells me that they can. I love the fact that they consistently get great looks at the rim.
Good post entry. And Valanciunas.
Used to playing with Donovan Mitchell was something different. And so this year he looks so much more comfortable, and he is really helping Utah do an incredible job. And this backcourt is underrated.
Transition defense just the same by Memphis. Bogdanovich already with a triple. And if he's making Euro steps all his way to the rack, now up by 14 on the 11-0 blitz. And that's a wide open three. Corner, short corner three. Ja Morant gets it right back. Hard off the heel, and it stays home. They can't live without him. And especially when you consider what he did in game 2. 47. Off the glass. Guess who?
Donovan Mitchell, that man. We wanted to come out with the right mindset. We didn't want to play with our food. Donovan Mitchell's not playing with his food tonight. He is coming out trying to hit Memphis with the knockout punch. 10 early points.
Kyle Anderson can't roll it home. So Donovan Mitchell and Utah start the game 10 for 13, 77%, and a little bit higher than that right now.
You got to get a timeout.
You said it. 14-point game. We're halfway through the opening 12. As Donovan Mitchell, he can't give up layups either.
They haven't stopped him from getting downhill all night long.
And the only win for the Memphis Grizzlies when they won in Salt Lake City. Dillon Brooks. That's not his specialty, but they'll take it. And that is a huge triple almost 7 minutes into the first quarter. Clarkson out on the wing with O'Neal. And Bogdanovich wide open.
This is a clinic right now.
Yeah, he's too good a shooter to be wide open.
Well, it's been an emphasis with the coaching staff.
Ja Morant, good entry.
Great D by Clarkson. Known for his offense. Great D right there. We got another three.
Bogdanovich feeling it. Why not? Double up. 31-5 at home for a reason, the Utah Jazz.
Yeah, and I was wondering what the mindset was going to be. Because sometimes you come into this game, and when it's a closeout situation, when you're able to get some guys later on in the draft, or some of these free agents that Memphis has been able to pick up, guys like Dillon Brooks, who wasn't a high draft pick, but turned out to be an incredible player.
That's the way he handles the basketball.
They got to load up.
19-point game.
Got to load up, give Rudy some help. Do not let Ja go at Rudy one-on-one right here. Make him see bodies.
Ja got there. Rudy did everything he could. Now Morant. Final 45 seconds, setting things up. Jaren Jackson Jr. And hard to the hole with the left hand over Gobert.
Oh, my goodness.
He was 50th back in 2016 after an outstanding career. The account of it goes. Look out.
Why not? It's been that type of quarter, Joel.
Look out. Jackson just trying to find rhythm to his game after missing almost the entire season. As there's the runner and the floater. Jordan Clarkson, the Lakers, and he had the mid-range game. He's expanded it completely as Desmond Bane looks for help. Jaren Jackson, left hand, and a sweet one.
They don't want to make it a habit of throwing him the ball much. They throw him a couple bones inside, let him shoot a couple of jump hooks, but that's not his thing. That's not his value to this team.
That's Desmond Bane's thing, though. I thought he'd stay in Minneapolis. He's from the Twin Cities. On the take, how about Donovan Mitchell back on the floor, making an impact once again. Second chance opportunities have not been there at all, Brendan, for Memphis. Gobert, look out.
Oh,
he's got it on the hammer.
And that's what happens. Donovan Mitchell starts driving a lot. I mean, coming into the season, I don't think anybody had Utah projected to finish number 1. I think we thought they would be a top 4 or 5 team, but number 1, that was a little bit surprising. I think all of us thought it would be one of those teams in L.A. He carves out so much space as far as with weak side duck ins and just being aggressive inside that he forces you to guard him.
And led the league in exactly what he did, but that's a breakdown defensively.
Did you see that pass, though? Man, I loved it. That's the next step in Donovan Mitchell's game as far as becoming a superstar. They get their shots based on ball movement and body movement. And when you get your shots based on that, sometimes you can have nights like you're having tonight where you're able to just score at a high level as Ja.
16-point game, inside of 3 to play. It'll be Donovan. Everything working. Everything working for Donovan Mitchell. A really good young coach.
I think I played against Quinn Snyder in the NCAA tournament when he was at Missouri, too. When he was coaching Missouri.
I was going to say he was ahead of you at Duke.
No.
Dillon Brooks gets the triple. Goes deep with Duke and Carolina. Man,
that's my guy, though. Hey, listen, there's a definitely a rivalry. Great finish by Rudy Gobert. My guy, Uncle Sam Mitchell. Hey, listen, is there a better dressed announcer than Sam Mitchell? Sam Mitchell's always smooth. Oh my God! Speaking of smooth,
into the shot clock makes no difference.
Speaking of smooth, Donovan Mitchell, and he's talking to Dillon Brooks about it.
Donovan Mitchell. He sees now it's down. He'll take it. End of the half. Gets it! Do you believe this guy?
Who is he? Who is the dude? Donovan Mitchell from 3 on fire right now in Utah. I think LeBron's going to have to do too much at the age of 36 years old.
Taken away. Poor pass. Dillon Brooks. He was hounded by Joe Ingles. Protects it. And Royce O'Neal comes up with the points off a takeaway. Bogdanovich on the lead for Gobert.
Oh, okay, Rudy.
Showing off the handle.
Okay, Rudy. With a little between the legs action.
How good is it when Bogdanovich does a little show and go and uses Rudy Gobert as a decoy?
Our big man isn't a dominant scorer on the block. You want him to have game like Jaren Jackson Jr. where he can shoot the 3. As Royce O'Neal throws down the dunk.
Usually goes down for Kyle Anderson. He struggled last game from the outside, struggling tonight as well. Donovan finds Rudy. Gobert on the finger roll. Quinn Snyder didn't want to take any chances after what happened last year when they were up 3-1. Plus, you never know what can happen. Another breakdown. Nobody accounted for Favors after he slipped that screen out top.
Let me know the league is going to be in great hands moving forward when we get some of our elder statesmen like LeBron James to retire.
Jordan Clarkson.
Hello.
They continue to celebrate.
He happened to miss it, but it's a great quality look. The play calling by Quinn Snyder and the offensive design is flawless.
Ja Morant stays with the play. But there is balance and in transition. 3-ball, hard off the heel. Donovan Mitchell.
Another layup.
Right, that's what I said about floor balance defensively.
Okay.
I don't want you take it.
There were some questions, but he is a true young NBA superstar.
Jordan Clarkson got what he wanted, and that was Dillon Brooks out of position when he flew by from behind.
Offensive effort really hasn't been there as far as multiple efforts. I saw it for a quick second in the second quarter from the second unit, but it just hasn't been at a playoff level. If you want to win a playoff game, you got to run teams off the three-point line. What I'm going to do is give you a promotion and let you mess up the biscuits. I just don't understand how Brad Stevens gets let go and moves up into the front office.
It'll be in that chemistry once again because they've both been out a long time.
Yeah, and this backcourt as Dillon Brooks breaks free for the dunk inside.
They have got to make a decision. Jaren Jackson Jr., great secondary defender there with a block. Melton on the wraparound to Dillon Brooks. But Jaren Jackson Jr. will clean it up. And that's a lucky number lately in NBA drafts. 13th overall. Jaren Jackson Jr. fills it up again. Second to last pick of the lottery. O'Neal shares it. Clarkson's got it. And everything else has fallen.
He's got it going now.
But Mitchell just sat down for the night. But if he joined us a little bit late, he put on a show in the first quarter. He extended the lead dramatically for them to the point where it had to be frustration for a real young team, the youngest team in the postseason. What are their strengths? And they know it in Utah. Young man with the basketball,
great
especially.
Oh,
Rudy back at it. With 21 points for Rudy Gobert. Going to be Dillon Brooks. Got a triple. And look at the effort of Donovan Mitchell, still going after a second chance off the lip of the rim. Tyus Jones. I've always liked his game since Minneapolis. He's really done a great job for them off the bench as the lead guard in the second unit. Donovan working on Brooks. And the floater. He's up to 30.
He and Donovan, they got together, they talked. Now they're back to where they were before.
Xavier Tillman, a guy that we like, and they picked up in the draft. The Utah Jazz, and they're on their way to the second round.